Hey Chris, how you doing, buddy?
Good man. It's late Sunday night, got a glass of wine, but I was eager to record this third episode of ours, so fuck,
Yeah,
feels
getting
good to end the weekend right.
yeah. I really like what we're doing, buddy. I think it's exciting. It feels right for some reason. I feel like we're doing something that is fun, and I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, it doesn't feel like work, man. And I'm like
Yeah.
finding myself looking forward to it. I'm like, shit, let's do it. So,
Well, that's a weird
yeah, feels
caveat
good.
because today might feel like work for me because we are talking about
Like,
fucking meme coins, and I work in fucking blockchain, so. I live, eat, and sleep blockchain way too much. And I wonder if this might feel like work because I know way too many things.
I'm like a good foil for this because I think I'm technical, but I barely even know how blockchain works. So, I mean, I get what it does. I just don't get, and I get meme coins. I just don't get what people tell me, like what the practical uses of them are.
So here's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try, and we're going for an hour. I'm going to try to be really layman for the first bit, and then we're just going to get way more complicated. Maybe by the end of it all, we'll get complicated. But I'm going to try not to get complicated off the start. I'm going to try to be as, less, more generic and from the beginning of
Right.
shit, so people can maybe understand. And if you don't, if you, as soon as you get bored, sign off, right? Because maybe there's a point where you're
But I
like,
mean, I
fuck, I
get
don't
it,
want to
man.
hear that shit,
I get it,
you know?
right? It's money that's on a blockchain, so it's fully publicly visible. We kind of know what a blockchain is. It's what everyone agrees, what everybody has, because all the computers agree that this is the correct chain. Um, And then people issue their own currencies, and blockchain basically allows anyone to be their own mint. So Trump can make a Trump coin, and his wife can make Melania coin, or whatever the fuck her one's named. Anyone can make a coin, and as long as everybody agrees that it has value, just like real world money, I mean,
Okay, wait.
it
Can we stop for a
feels to
second?
me,
Do you, can before we talk about meme coins, can we just talk about blockchain and Bitcoin and Ethereum, maybe? Do you think blockchain is a better system, first of all? Because if
I
you're not
think,
sold on that, then you're
uh,
not even fucking sold on blockchain, right? So I believe blockchain is a good system that is better for the world. And actually, I got a caveat there. Better for young people, actually, including us.
I mean, better I mean, better is such a broad word that it's hard to say like better how. I would say from an environmental perspective, it seems to me like these things suck up a ton of
No,
energy.
that's not true.
And so
That's not true.
there's,
That's not true. Stop.
well,
That's not true. Uh,
well,
Bitcoin
Bitcoin
does,
requires,
but
okay,
Ethereum doesn't.
okay, so it can't be not true if one of them, the most
Well,
popular one, is
uh,
true.
yes, the most popular one uses a bunch of fucking energy resources, yes. But the second most popular one upgraded because they have devs that still make the chain better to not do that.
Yeah, but what's the ratio between people caring about Bitcoin and Ethereum? Like, how much bigger is
About
Bitcoin?
it's about three times bigger at the moment, I think, I would say. Yeah. Maybe,
Right.
maybe everybody says you
Is
should hold
Ethereum.
70% Bitcoin, 30% Ethereum. So like a 2 to 3x. Yeah. And-
I'm just curious, weighted average, what's using the most energy? I think it's probably still Bitcoin.
Well, wait, I'll tell you, I think I know rough stats. Bitcoin uses 50 to 100x more energy than Ethereum, but it's only
Right.
2 to 3x more market cap or, usage bullshit. I mean, price is dumb, right? But maybe you could go
But it
market
still
cap.
uses the majority of
Yeah, because
energy
they
of
didn't
all
upgrade it.
crypto.
But that's your fault. That's dumb people's fault. They think They think cryptocurrency, they think Bitcoin, and they don't do the research to realize there's a better one that's already existed. I mean, that's why Elon wants to, Elon likes Doge, right? Because it's energy efficient.
You're just saying, or you're just saying you think it's better. I just named one way in
Fine.
which it's
Okay,
not.
fine.
And you're
Okay.
getting
One
all
way it's not. Okay.
defensive.
Let me try to go into why I think it's better. It breaks down all countries' walls. You're allowed to do a lot of stuff cross country where nobody can stop you, and that's nice. Um,
Sure.
I think you can make on-chain contracts. Like that's just sick itself. You can make, it has to deal with digital goods for the most part, but we haven't real worlded it per se. But you can make it so, I don't know, milestones and bankrolls are all transparent. You can vet a lot of investment systems. Like, why aren't stocks fucking blockchain? That's an obvious thing.
Yeah. I mean, if you want those things to be public, I mean, in my line of business, there's reasons why you want contracts to be confidential. I mean, it's against an employer's really good example, I think, would be like salaries, right? I like talking about money, so I think everyone's salary should be known. But if you're an employer, you probably don't want everyone's employment contract on the blockchain.
Okay, so
So,
that's a good point. I'm going to bring that up in our 50th minute to counter that point because it's just dumb. I can't go in that right now. Okay, sorry. My premise will be I think blockchain's good. And now I'm going to
but you're
try to
coming at
move
it
on
as
to
if
the
I'm
next
arguing
argument.
against you,
But
which
now
I'm
I'm going to
not.
move on to the argument that meme coins might be good, okay? Because
Why is
they
it an
help.
argument? I'm not
Well,
asking you
I'm
to
just,
convince
my
me.
theory is if meme coins help, blockchain exists, so it helps us move the ball forward. That's all I'm saying. That's where I'm trying to go.
I don't. I just don't understand why you're coming at me like I'm arguing with you. I don't
Oh,
know
you're right. You're
anything,
right. You're right.
and you're
You're right. Okay,
like
so okay,
you're like you're wrong. But
what
like
I'm
I
trying
don't
to
know
get to
anything.
is was Trump's decision to make a meme coin bad or good? And for somebody who works in blockchain, I'm very appreciative that this asshole broke some laws and put himself on the line, you know, to make a meme coin to prove to the industry that guys, let's make blockchain real. But this is okay. Wait, this is a whole other gambit. Meme coins are just a way to bypass regulation. Because if we tie a coin to a dumb meme, it doesn't fail the Howie test or passes the Howie test. That's all it is, really, right?
I don't even know what that is, bro.
Okay, fuck. Oh God. The Howie test is a financial regulation that stipulates whether something's a security or not. So that's like the US government's designation to figure out, is this a security or is this not a security? Because you're not allowed to just fucking issue securities, right? You can't just be like,
Right.
hey, I'm going to
It's
sell some stock of Adil Corp. Want to buy some?
right. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the way I understand it. Is it's largely to bypass existing legislation. So, but the reason is like there's a lot of presumptions there to say, okay, legislation's bad. But I would say most SEC legislation is to make sure companies are real. And when you say you're buying a share of a company, it has certain reporting standards and whatnot. So again, presuming that there's an assumption that bypassing that is good,
Agreed.
which I
I would
think you're
agree.
making. I'm not sure.
I
But again,
got
I
you.
don't know. I'm not even arguing against you, man.
I do realize. I realize.
But you're
I don't know. I don't mean to come
antagonizing me
from
for
being.
some reason.
Oh, it just. I think I'm fighting my own brain at this point because I don't know the right answer either. Oh God. Okay. Regardless, I guess let's talk about meme coins. What the fuck are they, and why are they dumb, and why are they profitable, and why do they help people, and why are they dumb? I don't know. Okay, let's see. You remember
Let
Peanut
me
the
start.
Squirrel?
Why should anyone even
Or sorry.
care?
Uh,
Why should I care about meme coins?
well,
Because I right now follow them, but I don't really.
well, if
Why
you'd
should
like to go to
anyone
the
care about them?
casino and turn $100 into $100,000 because you got lucky, maybe you should care about meme coins. It's sort of like Texas Hold'em. I mean, it's like popular right now, and people are making money in it. I don't know. It's kind
Isn't
of like a
Hold'em a game of
lotto.
skill?
It's a game of skill.
Hold'em's a game of skill.
Meme coins
Are
are a
meme
game of
coins a
skill.
game of skill?
Meme coins are a game of skill.
Aren't the people making money mostly just the people who are issuing them, not buyers of
Well,
them?
those guys can make money either way. Trump can, sell baseball cards or he can sell meme coins. He's going to sell whatever's hot, right?
Yeah, I still okay. So I should care if I'm a gambler? I don't. I still don't know why a normal person should care.
Okay, well, oh God, well that's nuanced. Um, you should care. I don't know why I should care. You should care if you want to play the game. You should care if you care about blockchain. Um, you should care because we're commoditizing memes. That's whack, dude. We're commoditizing news. That's whack too.
Who's we?
The blockchain people. I don't know. They're like, oh God. Okay, wait. Can I talk about something? Can I let me shift gears a bit? Do you know who Peanut the Squirrel is?
Yeah, he was killed by some New York people because uh, the FBI raided him and then they put him down for some reason.
You got it.
All
You
right,
got it. So you know the whole Peanut the Squirrel story. I bet a lot of people do. You know, there's a meme coin called Peanut, right?
the peanut squirrel.
Yeah, PNUT. Okay. And
Okay, but is it made because of the squirrel?
yeah, he
Okay,
died and then the coin was
and they
made.
made it. Okay, so they made a coin for the squirrel. Okay,
Correct. And it linked to the tweet of him dying by the guy who made it. But the guy who owned Peanut the Squirrel or raised him or whatever, um, he didn't make the coin, right? Some other guy made the coin, right?
okay,
And then what happened is people liked that story, and in the blockchain community liked that story as well, and they bought the coin. And then the coin went up in price. And do you know how much it became worth as a market cap?
no,
Sorry, what's the market cap of ever?
can't tell you.
Oh shit, okay. Well, the market cap of a peanut the coin was $1 billion. And
Okay,
was is the name is the word. But the question
I
is
think
why? Well, first of all, did the person who make that meme coin, come out like a bandit? Probably not, actually. They probably jumped off the ride really early.
hmm, do we know that for a fact?
I mean, no, we can look it up probably, but
I mean, if I issued shares where you just give yourself 1 million founder shares at a cent, right? Like, or whatever the smallest
that's not
denomination is.
true. That doesn't work. That doesn't work because people can see that. If we're not going to buy your bag, we're not just going to make you rich, right? So we want to make sure the coin's evenly distributed and that nobody gets only people who get rich are people who got in earlier. It's MLM theory, right? It's downline theory.
No, that's just called pyramid scheme.
Yes, yes, it's a pyramid scheme. So meme coins are a pyramid scheme until they blow up. It's sort of like a game of hot potato, right? It's a fast MLM pyramid scheme. They are pyramid schemes,
Sure,
no
I can
bullshit.
buy that. I
So
can buy that because they don't have actually a utility,
okay,
as
now
far as I know.
now here's something else. I mean, Peanut also was tied to the political campaign, right? Somewhat, because there was a lot of people talking
Of
about
course,
Peanut and being like, I mean, they were pretty much
it's
saying
like
we don't like Kamala somewhat too, right? I don't know. So that's also why it became
I
popular.
think people, I think people were connecting it with like woke left government overstep, and so they're just like, dude, why don't you just mind your own business? I'm just trying to raise this orphan squirrel or whatever, and then like no one asked them to do anything, and then like the SWAT team came in and like murdered a squirrel. Essentially, is
Oh,
how I understand it.
yes, yes, you got it.
Okay,
So,
I don't understand why would anyone just buy an existing coin? Doesn't it just make more sense to just mint a billion coins and hope one of them pops off?
Oh, wait, sorry. No, because it won't work. Because,
Why don't I just make wine coin? Because a lot of people like wine, I think,
well,
and
I'm
then hope
certain
people.
Wimecoin already exists, and
Okay, but like,
you're late. Like it's like domain game capture, you know, like you can try to capture all the domains. But the problem is, okay, so let's pretend tomorrow, I don't know, Justin Trudeau misspeaks and said something dumb. So what would he say? I don't know. Let's say he says, um, I don't know, I like Trump. I don't know what he's gonna say. Something dumb. Yeah, let's say he says, I don't like my job anymore. I don't know, whatever. Regardless, he's gonna say something dumb, and let's say that becomes a meme coin. Okay? Even though Chris was smart enough to make that meme coin a month ago with the same naming, it won't be the one that pops. The one will be the one that pops is the one from Justin Trudeau's tweet that gets viral. Because when you make the coin, you tie it to something. And typically you tie it to the thing that went viral. So peanut coin, it could have been made before, sure, but it was tied to the peanut virality that actually went viral.
what does it mean to tie something to something, though? Is that a
So
real thing? Or is it just
when,
a
when
mental
you
thing?
when you issue the share certificates on blockchain, you can encode a URL or multiple URLs, maybe to a domain that exists that you made, maybe to a tweet, maybe to a Telegram channel. You can do that. So, and it's on record. Make sense?
What are the people buying the coins doing then? Are they supporting that? Are they supporting its creator? Like, I don't get why people are.
Both. Yeah.
I've got I've got money. Why would I do that and not just buy Nvidia or something
So Chris, if you were part
or
of the
any
peanut
stock?
revolution because you were paying attention, maybe you're like, whoa, this is a serious story. I think this is going to be influential to our mind share.
To whom?
Maybe you should just buy the coin because you were early. You're early. Why not be on the pyramid scheme at the top? You were there first. You're part of it. Like if you were the person
Okay,
who's
so people are.
Peanut's neighbor, why wouldn't you buy the coin when you realized it was going to be something big?
I think most people don't give a shit about coins, so
Yes, you're
most
right.
people just read the news and like, what are the odds Peanut's neighbor knows anything about crypto at all?
Nothing.
I think
You're
zero.
totally right. You're right. But see, if 0.001% of humans play meme coins, it's still substantial enough at scale to monetize memes.
Right. So Peanut has a $1 billion market cap. How many people do you think are participating in Peanut coin exactly?
I don't know, 30,000 people, 20,000 people, 40,000
Right.
people.
It's
I'm
tiny.
not sure. It's tiny. Yeah, you're right. Tiny.
Like I
Maybe
look at the Venn
100,000.
diagram of people who know what Peanut is, which is nothing. And I look at the diagram of all the people who know what happened to Peanut,
Yeah.
have crypto, have the ability to buy coins. I have no idea how the fuck I would buy a Peanut coin at all. I didn't even know that was like an option available to me. Uh,
Okay, so
and I'm like pretty in tune with it.
can I tell you a story about how I was making a meme coin and how I was ahead of the market for once, which doesn't happen very often. So on the morning of Trudeau resigning, right? I don't know why I was up early. And I like gambling on politics, so I probably had some money on the line on something like that already. So I'm paying attention somewhat. And then I see him resign, right? And in that moment, I was just like, whoa, how do I take advantage of this? Or what do I do? So like, oh man, I should make a meme coin. Oh, what should I call it? Oh man, I should call it the 51st state because this is going to be funny. And then I was like, nah, I don't love that name. I'm going to call it USA's Adopted Bro because I thought that was funnier. Okay. So I start making USA's Adopted Bro coin. Okay. So I first of all buy the domain name. I start a Telegram channel. I start a Twitter channel. This is speed run, by the way. This took me 10 minutes. I'm very quick, right? And then I put in $2,000 into my coin, okay, to start it. 10 minutes flat. Because I'm pretty good at this. And then nobody bought it because, of course, not because nobody even knows it exists. And then I was gonna try to market it and stuff. Two bots bought it, but whatever. And then I realized, you know what? Maybe I should check to see if the coin already exists. I didn't even do that yet. So I searched in the search bar 51st state because that was the name of my first coin. And I was like, oh shoot, this already exists. And then I just, instead of caring about my coin now, I just bought that coin. And then I 5x my money in 15 minutes because I was ahead of the market. And I bought the coin when it was perfectly flat and nobody cared, and it 5x'd. And then it 10x'd.
But how many people really cared? Like 50K people?
No,
I
probably
don't
like
I don't
a
get who
thousand
you beat
people.
to the market. So people just gambling on other gamblers caring? I'm
It's a game of hot potato.
lost.
It's like who can be who can hold the potato and then you pass it. And then eventually somebody gets burned.
I don't think a 10x, if you think about like the pace of the news cycle, I still don't understand who you're competing against in this case, still, but sure. If you're a 10x is not enough. You could invest in 10 headlines and none of them would matter
Wait a
most
second.
of the time.
Who says my money would go to zero? Like the money I
I
put
don't
in
know.
my meme coin that I launched, I immediately got 99.8% of it back because nobody cared. And I could have sold my 51st state coin immediately after I bought it.
One has to buy it though, right?
No, that's not true. It's not a buy ask market. It's
So,
a it's a
well, I'm somehow missing the basics then.
it's a continuous liquidity market. Um, sorry, continuous as in this is confusing. I can do this. People provide liquidity to a market, so there's liquidity on both sides of a pair of currencies, so that people can buy and sell into that liquidity, kind of on a curve, on a bonding curve. So,
And I don't know what the fuck that means, dude.
oh god damn. Okay, what's another
So you
example of
buy
that?
a bunch of coins and you can get your money back out of it. Who are you buying it from? And when you sell it, what's happening to it? You're
Oh
saying it
god.
doesn't need a seller or a buyer when
There
you
is there
acquire
is
these
this there is
coins?
a seller or buyer, but um man, this one's hard to explain. This took me a year to understand. Um, I'm just gonna move on and try to find a better example to explain. What's a real world example of a continuous liquidity market? Um, It'll come to me eventually. I'm gonna give myself 10 minutes to figure that one out. I don't know. Um, yeah, yeah, that's weird. Um, so I mean, 51st State is dumb. Almost nobody was paying attention to that, right? But there was 1,000 people who were paying attention to it. And then after I bought it, of course, I told my downline to buy it too. And then they made some money, but also helped me get out earlier if I wanted to. Because it's a pyramid scheme. And people like Haktua can make a boatload of money with it. She could sell t-shirts. Some people would buy her t-shirts or caps or whatever, or sponsorship deals or whatever. But she could also do meme coins. Um, but it is bad because most meme coins go to zero. No, sorry, not most. 99.999% of meme coins go to zero. But there is
If
some meme
only they
coins that
cared.
don't, right?
I'm so confused, man. You just told me you can get your money out, 99% of your money out. And now you're telling me
Well,
all of them go to zero, essentially.
that's over time, right? If you buy and sell in a short 5 minute window, you'll likely enter and exit it roughly the same price, maybe a 2% burn, you know. But over
Why
time,
should I do that over?
yeah,
Why should I do that over like sports betting or something?
I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if I'm trying to like justify Bitcoins here. I don't really like them. I think they're just gambling. They are just gambling and ways of um I don't know, a novel use of the blockchain, I guess, sort of. I don't know. I mean, I think the people who enjoy them or are good at them the most are actually younger people because you really need a fast attention span. Like we're talking about 20-year-olds and like late, 18-year-olds that are gambling on this thing because they can pay attention to TikTok and Twitter and social media all fucking day and also make, their $20 into $100 and, buy some cheap beer. Do they buy cheap beer still? I don't know.
Doesn't that sound too small ball though? Like, aren't you just better off trading options?
For people like us, I would say yes. But young people have an edge in this market. So I would say for young people, this makes some sense to play meme coins because they have the edge actually. They're ahead of the news cycle for all things memes. I don't even use memes. Do you use memes in your conversations?
No.
Have you ever made a meme?
I don't know what you, I don't know what a meme is. Is that just like a picture still, or is that has that changed into
Okay,
something
wait.
else?
Okay, I think a meme is like when you like, I don't know, put a picture of Steve Carell with a different headline that wasn't like his joke in the office. That's a meme. Or it's that dog that's on fire and this is fine meme. That's a meme.
Right. Yeah. Um, I like reference memes. I can't say I've ever like made one with like a new caption.
So some people make memes. I don't make memes. I've never
Of
made a meme.
course, I mean they exist, so clearly someone has to make them.
Sorry, sorry. Young people make memes more often than we do, I think. I can't confirm, but I think so. And
Probably.
use memes more too. So, yeah, why not tie them to a financial instrument? Hmm.
Did you just say it wasn't a financial instrument?
Sorry, sorry. I mean, officially it's not. It's not officially a financial instrument because there's obviously no utility. Like
That's
there's no
obvious.
there's no promise of a company. It's just a meme. There's no promise of, hey, I'm gonna build out this
I just don't
ecosystem.
I just don't get what people are even buying into when they buy these coins.
Oh,
I don't
I
I don't
mean,
understand.
it's a casino. There's this new casino that now exists. It's called meme coins, and it's tied to a live news cycle of new memes and new information. And it is fun for people to tokenize securities that aren't securities until we get regulation.
Okay. Um, I remain unconvinced, I guess. So what should I know about meme coins?
Okay. They're on Solana. Did you know that? Do you know what Solana is a
Uh,
blockchain?
I'm aware of that.
Solana is a
Couldn't tell you
blockchain.
why it's special.
Solana is a blockchain that, similar to Ethereum, doesn't use electricity like Bitcoin. So it's a environmentally friendly blockchain. It has the ability to compute contracts. So like you can do compute on chain. It's built for that. Um, It was formed out of a bunch of VCs, which is a reason why a lot of people were very scared about Solana over the last 8 years, 10 years, I don't know. But they seem like they went from a centralized authority to a decentralized authority over the last 3 years, I would say, and have gotten a lot of traction. And they're the king of meme coins. Ethereum is the king of NFTs, and Solana is the king of meme coins.
No queens in this space. It's just a bunch of dudes or what? Of
There is plenty of OF
Of
girls.
course, they're selling like art coins, but it's their farts in a jar that they mail to you.
Um, yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you accept crypto for that? I mean, that's
Um,
that. I'm
me,
done. I'm done on my soapbox. I don't really have anything to sell here. I think it's. I think
that's
it's.
fine. I thought the goal of this was to help you understand meme coins
That's the goal.
or something.
So, um, should you
I
care
don't,
about meme coins? I don't know, Chris. I think
I don't know.
you. Okay, wait.
I think you're not
You should.
seeing it right
You
now.
should care about. You should own some cryptocurrency. Why aren't you approved in Germany yet to buy cryptocurrency? Why are they so slow?
I think, oh no, super slow. I mean, I think they're like mailing me paperwork. There's also no service workers, and this entire country is not digitized, so I don't know. It is strange. I want to. I mean, it's the only thing that's like tax free here, but at this rate, I'm going to be out of Germany before I am able to capitalize on the tax freeness of the crypto ownership. Basically, if you hold crypto for over a year, any capital gains you make from it don't get taxed, which is
Oh,
shocking to me.
wow. Surprising.
So I wanted to get that done, but I think they just changed a bunch of regulations and made all the major exchanges very difficult to sign up for. So I mean, I've been trying to do it since before Christmas, and they're just like, "Yeah, we're really far behind on validating customers." So between that and honestly, I don't know, not caring enough. There's like indirect ways to buy and own crypto, but it's not tax free. It's just owning like the raw material.
Hmm, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I would recommend you own some. I don't know. I think the generic statement is a minimum of 1% of your net worth should be in crypto. And I wouldn't be scared of 5%, to be honest. That seems very reasonable.
Right. I think 1 to 5 is also reasonable.
Do you own any art? Because people say that about art too, right?
I own a collectible car.
That counts as art. Your car appreciates faster than most things, surprisingly.
It's kind of slow, I would say. I mean, tripling in 15 years. That's like if you take rule of 72. Okay, it's tripled. It's slow. That's like 6% maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, I guess it is a little slower than the market. Um, I guess it's maybe a safer
That's
hold of value. I guess it's supposed to be diversified in case of black swan events. I don't know. I don't know. Some people say you're supposed to own art. Some people say you're supposed to own watches. I don't know. Some of these things hold value. I don't own that much physical art that's worth anything, to be honest. I don't know. I don't.
if you listen to like Michael Saylor, he's just basically saying that money erodes because of inflation. So you need to own something that even if you just have it there, it keeps the value. That's his thesis on Bitcoin. Arguably, that's the thesis on art, where the Mona Lisa is not losing value, right? It's just a $1 billion painting or whatever it's worth, and it'll always be that because there's only one. So it's it's not an investment per se. It's more like a storage of wealth that you can always redeem. Because if you're just holding cash, it fades away over time. So I can see that uh, argument making sense, but I don't think that's why most people are holding crypto. They're using it as a means of investment as opposed to a means of wealth or asset preservation. So I
Um,
think it's serving different functions for different people. I think I don't know what the percentage of speculators are, but like it's high. It's not based on fundamentals. So, whereas
I
like
think
art is not really speculation.
I think the counter to that is
Uh,
it's software as well. Like it's possibly appreciating software because it gets better over time.
it has to appreciate faster than the S&P, which did 26% last year, and it's like
Um,
much more transparent, in my opinion.
you're probably right, but I think if you look at um, appreciation of Ethereum, it's done decent. But yeah, you might be right. Maybe you know what? Compared to S&P 26%, it's pretty hard to beat. I mean, Bitcoin did that this year, but it also crashed from previous years. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it actually beats the equities market if you do the straight calc. Um, I think it does, obviously, because we've had so many bull cycles here. Um, I think the vision
I
is,
think
yeah, sorry.
I think I'm just more bought into the fact that Bitcoin is, yeah, a preserver of wealth, not necessarily like a investment that continues to grow. I mean, the fundamental thesis behind Bitcoin is that it's limited. You can only have 21 million Bitcoins. So it's impossible for the currency to actually inflate. But then people have just turned it to all these other things, which is like an interpretation. But like the fundamental truth of Bitcoin is that that's what that is, right? Anything else is just an interpretation of what people think it could potentially mean. But that's not like the first principles truth of it.
Mhm.
So when people are like, "Oh, it's gonna do X, Y, Z," blah blah blah, it's like, yeah, but that's not really like a true utility. That's like that individual's perceived utility. Where if I own a capital asset, like let's say a printer, let's say I own a print shop and I own a printer, that is a actual investment that generates value because it's like an investment in a tangible thing that does tangible shit that people want. You can paint Bitcoin all you want as to all the tangible things it can do, but like fundamentally, Bitcoin is just like, yeah, it'll never inflate because there's only so many Bitcoins you can make. Like aside from that, there's no other truth to that crypto, to that coin. Everything else is just people interpreting what it can or can't do based on whatever the needs of society are.
Mhm.
So there's obviously people that really believe in it, which is why it's kind of steadily sitting at like 100K. But I always think of it as an opportunity cost because I think if you decide that you want to invest in it, you need to sort of like what we talked about in our first podcast. You need to weigh it against all the other possible ways you could be spending your money,
Totally.
and then also think about risk adjusted reward. So even if you like 3x your investment in Bitcoin, is that a good risk adjusted return? I don't really know because I don't fucking understand it really.
So remember I was telling you I have an
Um,
arbitrage play right now that I really like? It's generating me 29%, and I think it has very close to risk-free. But I mean, there's still
9%
some
per
risk.
year or like on
Yeah,
what time
per
frame?
year,
Like,
per year. I mean, I've only had this arbitrage existing for 40 days now. but I
Right.
have a
Well,
decent
that's like
chunk of money. Remember
not
that
a
amount
long
of,
term.
yeah, I'm hoping it lasts for 6 months. I mean, in my head, I put the same bet as what we were going to put on that condo, a little more than that in money, 75% of that, I guess. That's how much money I have on the line, and 29% right now. It was 35%. Now it's 29.
Right. I think I don't know. I don't know anything about it. But if there's any chance it goes to zero, then like the coupon rate isn't like that interesting, right?
Totally, totally. I mean,
I mean,
I,
you can buy Ukraine government bonds at 50%. But like, what's
I
the
said,
odds that they'll
I
default?
said risk free. So, I mean,
Right?
um, but I'm lying because there's a little bit of risk. The little bit of risk is, I mean, I can add it up. The one piece of risk is um, platform risk. It's inside a platform that's possible that they could be hacked and then we lose all our money. And it's not actually a platform risk. It's a decentralized blockchain. So the money is decentralized in my power. But it's possible somebody made a mistake in the code and it can be hacked or purposefully made a mistake in the code.
The question is, when I hear something like that, it's just, um, where's the money coming from?
Oh, from gamblers. People are gambling on meme coins at leverage, and I'm just scalping profit. I'm providing liquidity to
Right?
them. You know, when you buy Trump meme coin on this one platform that I'm doing it on, you're forced to take it at 10x leverage. You're not even allowed to bet it on that platform at 2x leverage or 3 or equal. You have to bet it at 10. When you play Peanut, you're playing 5x leverage. It's forced on this platform. People don't know the math, so they're gambling.
So you're basically making money off like what I assume to be American mathematical illiteracy.
Definitely, without question. People like gambling. They want 100x's. I don't need the 100x's. Okay, with the 29%.
Right. I'm not necessarily against that. I mean, I think some people would probably have a moral stigma, not stigma, but
Mm, true.
but who knows? I do think there's like unrelated, but I do think there's like a business to be had about the inevitable gambling addictions that like
Oh yeah.
mainstream sports betting and betting of any kind is now gonna probably produce.
You know what? I think you're right, and it does make me sad a bit. Um,
Not sad
I
enough though.
I mean, I mean, it's one of the reasons why I don't love the cryptocurrency industry, and I would like to take a break from this industry a bit because it is quite toxic. Um, it's full of gamblers and pirates and hackers, and there's some good in it too. People who believe in a future of decentralization and freer borders per se, freer money, which I think is good. But yeah, there's a bad side of it too.
I mean, it's kind of like the same storyline that like drug dealers use. I guess I think it's like, well, people are gonna use anyway, so I might as well be the one that profits off gamblers who are probably gonna find a way to gamble. Why shouldn't I take part in that if they're just gonna give away their money anyway?
I think there's another
So
weird side to it. Like there's the morality side, but there's also like a life suck side to like working in finance, right? Like cryptocurrency is somewhat financy, um, and there's some fun sides to it too. But just working with finance exclusively with numbers and being good with numbers only isn't a very healthy path to feeling fulfilled. and I gotta say, there's a lot of negative sides in cryptocurrency that you know, you're staring at a computer all
I
day looking at equations.
mean, finance is a broad industry, so it's hard to paint them all with one brush.
I guess I was thinking more like, I don't know, I was thinking like iBanking and like day traders and like, I don't know, maybe not low finance. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know.
Well,
I'm definitely not sold on meme coins right now. I mean, I think I could be sold on it. I just don't understand why it's better than just doing something else that has more trading volume, has larger addressable market. Like, is there value to like out competing not even like a six-figure amount of people? I think you're
ooh.
better off like sports betting, which is like a multi-hundred-billion-dollar industry, or like
So I
you
should
could
really check my facts here. I feel
trade
like it's
junk
more than that.
balls.
No, I mean there's got to be a million people who are playing meme coins. If I were to guess, I don't know. I got to look this up. It was just we
Still,
we're
it's
talking
still
about
tiny
yeah,
though.
so tiny, so tiny. Um, let's think that out. Is the market big enough for you to do it? For somebody like you, I would say no, it's not. It takes too much of a time suck. You have to be, you know what?
Without,
It's only worth it if you're in the 1%. If you can make the Hold'em World Series because you're so good at poker, yeah, it's worth it. You got to train your way to that. If you're not in the top 1%, you're not breaking six-figure salary. Maybe if you're top
right?
5%, barely. So it's not worth it.
But if you're like in the top 1% of anything else, you're gonna be like a millionaire. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna win this game and just make six figures. That doesn't seem like a good
I think it can be way more
use
than that.
of money
I
either.
mean, so I have a friend who has made, let me try to do the math here. I don't know, somewhere between half a million and 4 million this year in meme coins in the last 12 months. So no, I don't. Like he's a 1%er. I,
Sure.
yeah, for sure. So he's my, and then I have a whole bunch of other friends who've probably made 50 to 150, you know, who aren't 1%ers. So I don't know. You can do it. It's just, do you want to? I don't know. It depends if for people who are good at memes, who are good at trending news, who are good at trending data, who are always on social media, who are always on TikTok, maybe for them, maybe it's a skill set now, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Sounds
recommend you play meme coins. I
that's
recommend
horrible.
maybe you play arbitrage plays that support the ecosystem. Like that might be your cup of tea. I would recommend you diversify across three cryptocurrencies and be lazy passive investing for a store of wealth. But
Yeah. Um, Possibly. Yeah. What I don't get what the arbitrage is though. You keep saying that, but aren't you just predatory lending at this point? I don't get what the arbitrage is.
I'd have to share my screen, and I don't know if you'd like that. Um, I can show you. Um, God, I'll try to go into specifics. There's a platform called Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid runs its own blockchain. It has a coin that powers its blockchain called Hype. Hype powers its blockchain that powers a gambling ecosystem of meme coins. People gamble on this ecosystem a lot with crazy amounts of leverage. If you buy Hype on the spot market, which is an unleveraged asset, and sell it on the perpetuals market, which is a leverage asset, at the same price, because it's the same thing, you have a net balance position. However, on the leveraged market, you gain interest at the short position because the market likes to gamble and sucks the liquidity for the market and wants extra leverage. So they pay an interest rate. On average, interest rates typically around 10%, but there's periods of spiking that where interest rates are as high as 200%. So on average, I get 29. That's it. I have a short position and a long position that balance, but there's also a margin call because my short position has a margin call on it because it's a leveraged 5x position. But that margin call is at 60% higher than the price, and the volatility of that asset is only really 5 to 10% a day. So if ever I'm ever in any danger of being a margin called, I just lower my asset position on both, and I'm no longer in risk. That's my arbitrage.
Yeah, I'm totally lost. Like
But
I probably need drawings or something.
what I think is dope is that it's totally fair. That's what's fucking cool. You know what? It's not fair when you like, oh God, like so many markets aren't fair where there's a bookie in between it and like they take one side of the bet and wreck you, or you take the other side of the bet, they wreck you, which isn't so, which isn't how this market works. This market works, it's a seesaw. If what people want to play the gamble side, then they pay a premium. If people want to play the short side, they pay a premium. If more people are on one side, it seesaws. It's kind of interesting, but I like that it's decentralized and fair. Ah, it is complicated, and I'm not the best at it either.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm not a good audio learner, but I still don't. I really don't understand what's happening there.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we got to get your feet wet. We got to get your feet wet into own some crypto. I mean, that's the dangerous thing. You know, my dad
But
almost got scammed buying cryptocurrency. That's what scares me. I mean, things like that happen all the time.
yeah, I think there's a lack of regulations, so of course it's a minefield.
It's a minefield. Yep.
So I don't understand why it makes sense for anybody who wants to like preserve their wealth to enter that when you could probably do maybe 60 to 70% as well in a with a much safer route, or at least that's the perception. I mean, it just goes down to like there's really no such thing as a get rich quick scheme, and that's sort of what it smells like from afar. And so eventually it's gonna blow up, and you don't want to be like in the blast radius.
I don't think that's true. I don't think it's true. It's blockchain will take over the world slowly. So that will raise faster. So there's big companies incentivized to push blockchain forward. So there's an inherent positive uptrend.
How will it take over the world, though? I mean, if you think about, first of all, to me, it's still very American centric, I would say.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So if I think about like the four largest economies in the world, which are
I don't think it's true. I
America,
don't think it's American
China,
centric.
Japan, and Germany,
China's very big in blockchain. China's huge in blockchain.
I just don't see three countries that are not America really adopting it that quickly. Japan and Germany are for sure not. So that's
Um,
three and four.
I feel like Singapore is
And
huge.
but
Um,
Singapore's a tiny
I know,
economy.
yeah, you're right, totally.
I mean, it's big. It's big, but it's like it's not the big four. And so, like, I mean, Germany still has paper mail. How are they gonna adopt blockchain? I don't think it's taken over the world in like our lifetime. So it's certainly not worth investing in for any time frame I give a shit about.
Interesting, interesting. Is it too
Japan is
slow?
further behind Germany.
I mean, I think
So,
you're right about that. And that might be the flaw in it is that it's too slow. Um, I can't prove that it will be done in time. My
I mean,
my
I'm kind
intuition
of
is
ready
that
to retire now.
one more time. Yeah, I mean,
So,
yeah.
ready to retire now. So it's just like, why would I risk my net worth on anything that wasn't like a lock? So, yeah, I get it. Like, kids want to gamble up, they're like $20. Well, they have Robinhood, they have FanDuel, they have DraftKings for that. Like, but it's not honestly at any like amount of. It doesn't feel like it's like meaningful. It's like when people tell me they like coupon cut. I'm just like I don't care. They're like, oh, which grocery store has the best deal on ground beef this week? And they like pour over the flyers. It's just like you're not spending your brain power on like you're thinking too small in a lot of ways. I feel.
Yeah. So I completely agree with you, and that's why I don't actually play meme coins. Um, I like building things. So for me, the fun part of my job is building software and upgrading that skill. It's in the blockchain space, sure, but I like
Yeah.
that
Why not just build software and like
totally.
become rich like Peter Levels or like
Oh yeah, I mean
any
this.
number of these
I
people? Like, isn't that a bigger, better use of time than building small ball tools or whatever?
I
I don't
I
know.
would
I
I
don't
would
know
agree with
anything.
you. It's a training ground, right? It's a version of it was convenient and there were places to build and it was fun. And there's a lot of fun in blockchain. I gotta say, there's a lot of there, and it was when it's hyped, there's some fun in it. But I would agree with you. I mean, for meaningfulness, I don't think meme coins are meaningful, and you'll feel it. You'll feel that time suck. You'll feel that you haven't accomplished anything. You haven't learned anything. All you've done is you know stare at some pyramid schemes and try to edge your way to profit. Um, it's just hot, and some people like it. Um, and it's for some reason it's newsworthy, I guess, because Trump did it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, Trump isn't doing it for the same reasons you are. I think it's just a backdoor for way for people to funnel him and his wife money. So it's not even he's not even doing it for the same reason. I think.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I don't know. He definitely scalps off some money for himself, and I mean, Mar-a-Lago memberships is another method, right? But
Yeah, it's just, but this is like digitized grift. It's even easier because you don't even have to like physically go to Florida. You can just you can just pump up his coin and off you go. And so I mean, it's a bit of a one-off, but I don't know. I don't really know why they exist or if they have any sort of real function. I don't know why Solana is the king of the meme coins, per your words, and not another place.
it's just
Things don't
oh,
have a rhyme or reason. Feels like I don't know.
I got a question. Do you get why NFTs were also um this
I think people were
a
just like
version a version of getting around the law? You get that, right?
I think it has same fundamentals as why people use art to launder money.
Totally, totally. So both of these are actually just the same use case of getting around the law, and it's interesting to me that that's why they were why I think they were received well and became whole ecosystems. Um, but it is pushing the governments to regulate and to also be more honest about their centralized versions of money. The decentralized world keeps the centralized world honest because they're tied. Like if there's so much corruption on the centralized world, you get this friction. So you may just use the decentralized version of it to move your money across. So I see it like that. They're kind of foils.
I would agree with that. Luckily, we live in like a Western society that has, I think, like what are we trying to escape here?
I mean, I don't know, governments overspending money and wasting it and being inefficient with the powers of overseeing us
I don't think crypto is gonna fix that. How is crypto fixing government waste?
transparently, possibly. I don't know. Would it be nice to know how much the government spent on stuff?
I think they do report on that for those who are interested in reading it.
That's true. That's true, I think. I don't know. I don't see military spending reports very often, but I think you're right. Some of it's transparent. Um, like what's not transparent is like, I don't know, how much they spend on a bunch of stupid things. Like, I don't know. Maybe I can look it up. I don't know how many bureaucrats they have for every division. Like, I don't, maybe I haven't looked at it close enough, but I don't know if that's useful.
How
I'm
crypto
just bullshitting
fixes
here.
that though? How will crypto fix that?
Well, if every
My
if every
work
transaction
isn't.
was marked, if every division AP account was shown, if it was all powered on blockchain, you could see it all. If every good was hashed from its raw material state to its final state, you could trace a product. I don't know. That's a weird pipe dream in blockchain to be able to do that, but maybe.
I think like for the amount of transactions that take place in the world, like there wouldn't be enough energy to do that, even for how little energy the modern blockchains use up.
Ooh, that's a good, interesting one. I don't think that's true because it just scales pretty well, actually. I think my intuition is actually in 20 years. I pitched this to you a while back, actually, is that I think data on the internet will be on the blockchain. Like,
Like
this video
all
call
of it.
is on the blockchain
Why? But why does it need to be? There's literally like no utility to have it there.
so that,
In fact, in fact, people should like be deleting data. I think is what people are saying.
hmm,
Like, like, like dead people Facebook profiles. At some point, those need to just get deleted, right? But like, no one has like a protocol for like when that will happen, or like we're about to hit like the generation where like kids are gonna become adults and like their entire life is like photographed from like their parent because like Facebook was made in like 2004 or something. So like someone's entire life from like when they were like came out of the birth canal is like completely documented on the internet, and they're probably not gonna like that. So I think it's actually going to go the other way, where people want more privacy, and not everything needs to be saved and like on the cloud.
So I don't think that's the way the world will go, actually. AI may be the reason why that data is useful in some way. You mentioned this, you keep saying this as like it's publicly available, and that's not true, actually. There's blockchains that are private.
All I said was budgets are publicly available, and people don't really read those.
That's
So
true. Um, I was just saying that some blockchains are private that still use the blockchain, where you're not allowed to see all the transactions. So you could,
I wasn't saying that. You were the one that's saying that all transactions being public would be useful.
oh, I was saying that for budgetary stuff. But you were asking a second ago, oh, this was a while back, but you were saying maybe people don't want all their stuff on chain. But you can have all your stuff
Right.
on chain, but also private.
Why have it on chain at all?
Because
Then there's
you
a
could
reason people prefer cash transactions because there is no receipt.
totally. So there's cash transactions on blockchain as well.
And it, by definition, can't be a cash transaction.
Why not? Sorry. Yeah, again. It's just hashed.
Cash transaction is by definition like this never happened.
But there's a hash transaction that's spun as well. It's a transaction that's hidden.
So therefore, it can't like metaphorical cash transaction is like this didn't happen. So why would anyone want to
If
even
somebody
acknowledge the fact
watches
that
the
it
cash
occurred?
transaction happen, it can be observed.
Right.
Same thing on a
Sure,
private blockchain.
but
There's
it's not
private blockchains
enshrined.
that exist where you can do a cash transaction where nobody can see it from the public view, but there's a private view of the sender and receiver that can.
Stupid. That's not a cash transaction then.
Equivalent of one.
Literally, transaction is just like I bought drugs. Why would I want any evidence of that ever existing anywhere?
Well, so you can send the drugs, right? Like sometimes you want to send the drugs. So here, Chris, here's $300. I'll send it to you over the blockchain. You can get it. Nobody knew it
He's
happened.
still watching. Doesn't make any sense.
So I can do it instantly.
Someone gives you drugs, you give them money, and there's no trace of that transaction ever occurring. That's the whole
But
point of a
if
cash
somebody
transaction.
mails you drugs, how are you going to give them cash? You should give them crypto.
That is a unsafe way to transact in the first place
Why?
because you're mailing drugs, Adil.
Okay, well, yes, you shouldn't be mailing drugs, but yes, yes, it's true. Yes. Don't mail drugs. I think. Um, I think that's enough of me talking about cryptocurrency. I'm not enjoying it. It's not fucking fun. This is the least enjoyable
But
podcast we've done for me, at least. Oh God, I think I
it's only
cringe.
three.
This is the bottom one for me. I don't. I think it's because I also am torn about existing in this industry. Yeah,
I mean, that's fine. I think, I don't know.
it's a lot of Kool-Aid in this industry. It's just kind of interesting. I don't know.
It's definitely uninteresting to me, and I don't think you've made it any more so.
Uh, yeah,
Feel like, yeah, I don't know. I think its staying power is to be determined.
yeah. It's a weird one. Everybody's trying to call for the meme coin saga to end, actually, and we don't know if it actually will. There's a lot of people who are predicting that it won't die. But Me and a friend were calculating it the other day, and we think it will because it'll be botted out. Eventually, just bots will outcompete you at the poker table. So you just won't play anymore because you'll be
Right.
hard to win.
If you think about that metaphor, the the meta in poker is to go back to live games where bots can't exist. So, you know, everything has its cycle. So the best poker games now are live cash games.
Totally. That's a good
So
point. Yeah.
um, meme coins just seem to be at the front end of that cycle. But eventually people get bored. Just like how I think like online dating apps are dead. And like the newest apps are like basically a better version of like meetup.com. Um,
Oh,
like the guy who
cool.
invented, like the guy who invented time left has made like a bunch of money.
Oh, cool. I'll have to look that
And
up. Huh, I don't know what time left is.
oh, it's just like supposedly like dinner table matchmaking. So
I've heard of this. My friend started something in Vancouver called um, Meet Up for Coffee or something, or like Coffee Circle or something like that, where you like, I don't know, meet up with two other people for coffee. You pay like coffee club or something like that. I don't know what this is. Maybe not.
yeah, something like that. And so it's more like a blind date as opposed to matching and then going through
Got it. Got it.
texting and all that. So I think like everything everything like is new, then it gets like optimized and then it's like no longer fun. And then people just kind of go back to like the old thing that was fun. It's kind of
Yeah.
like Airbnbs are like now falling out
Yeah.
of favor. They're like,
Totally.
oh, before you got to like live in someone's cool house, then everybody just optimized it to be like, what's the most money I can charge for the shittiest Airbnb? And now hotels just make way more sense because like I can't get fucked over by someone who decides to like cancel my reservation. Like I know the hotel will always be there. Uber's the same. Used to get picked up in Teslas by bored people, and now they're just Camrys and Priuses because the game has been optimized and it's no longer fun. And cabs have lowered their prices. And so now it's just like, I'd rather just take a cab because there's a company I can yell at if it doesn't work. Um, so who knows about crypto? I think it's in the middle of that cycle, but it could hasn't been around long enough that it won't just fizzle out and die. It's less than a single human generation. Like I would say, how old's Bitcoin? It's like 15 years, 2010, 2008. It's not that old. Like people are like lashing onto it like it's gospel. It's like, yeah, zoom out a bit. Most people don't give a fuck about it.
This is a good soapbox. Can you keep going? This is really good. Really good. Wow.
There's, I think most people don't care. Most people don't care.
Most people don't
So
care.
like you're in like your own little small pond. I mean, it's a big small pond. Like I mean, there's tons of money in it, but there's like this. It feels really self-important when you're in the midst of it. But you know, I mean, if you think about it, it came out at the same time as the iPhone, and Apple's a multi-trillion-dollar company. Like people care way more about smartphones than Bitcoin, things that are new that are of the same age. So I don't know. Like it's a curiosity because I think it has like potential, but it doesn't have like that obvious utility that like an iPhone does, right? Like it's not obviously useful, which like in and of itself to me feels like a weakness. It's kind of like, well, if it's so good, then why the fuck isn't it so that obvious? 'Cause if it was good, it would be obvious.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're spitting fire right now, and I think you're right. I don't know. I got nothing. I got nothing for you.
iPhones killed the digital camera and it killed the MP3 player in one shot. Killed two things in one go. remember when we had to buy like SD cards and people were like, "Did you see the new Nikon Cool Pics?" And you actually had like to travel with a phone and a digital camera, and it just kind of became like one thing. I think that's probably my biggest hang up on Bitcoin. It's just like it's not obviously utile, and so it's like how good can it be if like its function has like if someone has to like convince me that it's good, then how good is it? I should just be able to look at it and be like, yo, that's amazing. But like no one does. You need to have like these it's almost like cultish beliefs to be like, oh well if these things all line up, then it's amazing. But maybe I'll have it stay in the sun and maybe I'll just like sit there idling. I mean, I watch a lot of Michael Saylor, and I think he makes some good points. And I think what he's doing is I don't know if it's smart or not because I can't tell. I do own some MicroStrategy, um, but I respect his like conviction. Like, I mean, he's fucking gone all in on it in a very big way. And if you now, there's a guy who's doing arbitrage the correct way. I mean, he's basically saying I can issue shares at the market and turn around and buy Bitcoin. So he's like literally minting money because creating shares is also like making a meme coin. Issuing shares on the New York Stock Exchange is arguably the ultimate meme coin. It's a meme coin that has to follow SEC rules, and he's done it for tens of billions of dollars, not 10,000 people making $1 billion. He alone has been 50xing whatever the hottest meme coin is. And then he's turning around and buying, he's basically issuing paper money in MicroStrategy shares and buying something that he perceives is a preserver of wealth. So he's basically arbing like 3% inflation to say, I'm going to take fiat money, American dollars, indirectly. I issue shares, I get American money, US dollars, and then I take US dollars and then I buy Bitcoin because I think US dollars are slowly becoming worthless and Bitcoins always stay at 1.0. Like, it doesn't become 0.98 next year and then 0.961 next year after that.
I
So
I think his
he's
strat is
actually doing
interesting, but he has
he's
some
doing
risk, right?
2% arbitrage. Of course it's risk.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But he's taking a 2%. He's like, okay, inflation is 2%, 2 to 3%. Um, and he's just saying, okay, well, it's a 2% ARB, which is really good. I mean, if you had a 1% edge in blackjack, you get thrown out of the casino for having a 1% edge. He's like, I have a 1% edge. The only way for me to make a boatload of cash is to issue like 10 figure sums of money, because then 1% is a big number of a 10-figure number. I think that's what he's doing with my very dumb brain. Um, it's all hyped up now. So like, I mean, I own MicroStrategy at a premium that actually really doesn't make sense if you do the math. So um, yeah, I don't know. I think Sailor's the ultimate meme coin. He's just saying MicroStrategy is the meme coin. I just
I
issue
mean,
shares.
I think you're totally right. He's capturing the bigger market of the meme coins, totally. Um,
I mean, generational. He's a generational guy as well. But again, something doesn't feel quite right with him either, right? Because he had the accounting scandal, which he settled like 20 years ago.
I don't know that
That
one.
was like never really talked about or explained.
What was the name of it?
Yeah, he
The
had some.
channel?
I don't know. He had some kind of scandal, and he ended up settling with the SEC without ever admitting fault.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, well, can I? And I don't know what he did, and I don't know if he's changed. I mean, people change over 20 years, but it's like, okay, well, if he's playing an accounting game, is he just scamming everybody right now? Hard, like, I think 99% he's not, but he's also an MIT grad. Maybe he's doing something that I can't see. I
Uh,
don't doubt that he's smarter than me.
I don't know. I've thought about buying that. I can't understand his entire plan, and I think he's taking on risk that is substantial regarding whether or not Bitcoin continues to go up on average. Um, and he has loans that
Right?
are out, I think, as well to create leverage on it. So,
His loans, yeah, but his loans are like they're convertible shares. It's convertible debt. So I mean, he's just like instead of paying back the loan, I'm just gonna give you shares. So he's like become his own mint, right? That is
ah,
the
I get it.
beauty of like
Got it.
I mean
Got
that's
it.
always the beauty of capital markets. It's like the value is all perceived. It's I mean
But isn't there
company shares are the original Bitcoin.
is there like covenants at all, or I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend like I understand it all.
Um, I think there must I think there must be some on his debt. Don't know what it is,
Like he's got to
to be
maintain certain
honest.
ratios of net asset value.
No, no, no. I think the what he has to do because he has a business underneath all that, right? I mean, it's tiny now for his market
Yeah,
cap. I mean, he has a software business that makes like
mhm,
let's say 30 million a year net.
sure.
He cannot issue more debt. He cannot take on more debt than he can service with his actual cash flow because like everything
Ah,
else is like
got it, got it, got it,
immaterial,
got it.
right? So if there ever comes to a time when someone's just like, no, I want my interest payments in like money, I want money for the money I've lent you, and not
Uh-huh.
your shares or like whatever. But right now, because it's a low interest rate environment, I think he's been able to issue convertible debt and like some like basically for free, right? So I think that's what it is. Again, there's some level of financial gymnastics there that like I don't fully understand. There's some good articles on it. I respect the fact that he's gone in on it. I respect the fact that he like seems to be like fairly open with what he's doing, and he has like presentations and talks to like trying to explain like how he's doing it. It's almost like he found a loophole in the equities markets because it's like, yeah, you can, in theory, just issue an infinite number of shares to and turn that into like a real thing, which like arguably like ever does, right? Like we issue shares, people give us money for fake paper, and the money is used to pay my salary, and I turn that real money into real tangible items. But like the origination of that is like the perceived value of an idea, right? So like all money is a construct. I mean, I say that all the time. I think
Mhm.
meme coins are just a different way. It's like a way to issue shares without having to follow any securities law. Like we're going back full circle to how we started. I don't like I'm a director of a company on the venture. The venture's pretty wild west.
I think penny stocks and
Does it?
venture are pretty meme coiny. There's not that many
Right.
people playing it.
Right. So like meme coins are even more wild west than and there's other exchanges that are even more so. You have CSX, the Canadian Securities Exchange. And then you still have the
Totally,
pink sheets. And then there's
totally.
different levels of the pink sheets. But then like then you have like meme coins are like way over here.
I
Because
don't
they
know
don't
if they're
even really have
way over there. It's possible that some meme coins are actually above some
yeah.
of those pink sheet levels because there's actually enough liquidity. Because you can actually, like I said
Right.
earlier, come in and out of some of these asset classes. But it
Right.
inherently, the game is built to explode. That's the difference. Like meme coin's foundational level is meant to
Right.
not make it, and that's the one difference.
Right.
But maybe that's not true.
Right.
Pink sheets are
So I
sort of like that
think
too. I don't know.
no, but I think like at least there's like real companies behind them. Or so they say. If a meme coin is just like, hey, I want to outsmart other people who also want to like decide to try their hand at it, then it becomes more like a poker game where it is like a zero sum game, right? Yeah. Like you're just saying, I think I'm smarter than my other opponents at the table. Ergo, I'm gonna try to outmaneuver them, whatever that looks like in the meme coin world. But like most people also don't care about poker. Right? It's a very niche thing.
So I'll jump into slightly something kind of weird, and then maybe we should call it. Have you heard of AI coins?
No.
One thing that impressed me was the current state of AI agents, and they've tied AI agents with meme coins. And I think at the very least, what I like about it is that
Why are
there's
you
been
saying
some,
they? Who's
oh,
they?
I don't know, people who build meme coins. There's people have who are in the AI space and the meme coin space and have tied these two networks together. Like an example of that would be like, I don't know, there's people are testing AI agents right now with financial responsibilities, and I think that's interesting. I just think it's interesting. I don't know if I have any better information about that, but it's interesting that there's some games that have been built where like you talk to an AI agent and you try to get them to give you the loot. They have loot and
Oh
they're
yeah, I've seen
told
that.
not to give it away, right?
I've seen it.
And I just
Yeah.
thought that was cool. I don't know. That's the level we're getting
Almost
into.
like a felt like a security penetration kind of game. Be like,
Totally.
can I out logic someone's programming? But really, it's like more of a curiosity than anything. I don't know.
Yeah. It's more of a
I
curiosity,
think
but I mean, yeah. All I was getting
I
at
think
is that
until there's
there's
like
sorry, go.
no, go ahead.
I was just getting at they took it to another level because some of these agents are really good, right? So they tied meme coins to these agents. And if you think any of these agents might be breakouts, like become, I don't know, the best culinary recommendation in the world or something dumb like that. The what's Gordon Ramsay of AI agents? Maybe you want to buy his coin now, right?
I still don't. I'm like still trying to understand what am I doing when I buy a coin? Am I supporting a concept? Am I investing in something? Am I
You're
like
not
what am I?
investing. Okay, well, this is a
What is
funny.
my mindset when I buy a coin? I don't think you've done a good job explaining that. It's just like okay, I
Oh,
support Trudeau. Okay, Trudeau says something stupid, and then I buy a coin. But like, what is my mindset? What am I
oh.
thinking as I'm doing that?
Well, I know I haven't explained this well, but
Am I
it's only
supporting
worth
the fact that he
something.
did something dumb?
Warren Buffett would say it's only worth something if somebody else is willing to buy it after you buy it. That's why he didn't like crypto. It's only worth something if somebody else wants to buy it after you buy it.
Has no obvious utility.
And but that's the same thing with a lot of investments actually. They're just a better link to revenue sources.
Well, some investments actually produce things of tangible value, like a photocopier.
Of course, but if you go down the line of how connected you are to revenue, I sort of see it as like there's publicly traded stocks, and then there's, pink sheet stocks, and then there's private shares, and then there's like, and then there's cryptocurrency, and then there's meme coins. Because the tie to value becomes less transparent as you get to meme coins.
Well, I think there's a big chasm between crypto and private companies. I think private and
So
public is just
if
a
you
matter
own
of
a private
liquidity.
company and you're a minority shareholder, you have no say into when you get paid back. You're just hoping that, there's an exit event and you get there. So I would say it's actually you don't actually have a
Well,
tie
there's
to.
secondary markets. They're just not publicly traded. So those definitely exist. For
So
example, like
but
SpaceX.
That's true. But in some ways, there is less liquidity in those situations than there is in meme coins because it's obvious what the
Mm,
liquidity is in meme coins.
there's less there's less price discovery.
Correct. Correct. Less price discovery.
I
Yes,
wouldn't
you're right.
say I wouldn't say there's less liquidity or that there's less value. I think the chasm between a private
You're right.
company and
You're
crypto
you're
is
you're.
wide.
I think you're right, and I agree with that. I was trying to maybe set an example, but I guess what I was getting at was that you're really only buying something that you're hoping somebody else is going to buy. So really, but that can create value. And if this AI agent, Gordon Ramsay AI agent, let's say, who's great at recipes forever because he's awesome, whatever. If you buy his meme coin and he does become popular, well, there's going to be probably another buyer of that meme coin if the meme coin economy still exists. Like it's all contingent to blockchain
Okay,
existing and meme coin existing, and then somebody else wanting to buy it. And that's literally
sure.
why
So that's
most
like,
people think Bitcoin's dumb because why does anybody want to buy it?
well, okay, so there's 2 points there I think I see. Number one, it is like equities. Equities like that. You're buying, if it trades as a multiple, you are buying its future earnings. Otherwise, everyone would just trade at a 1x multiple.
Totally.
But when I invest in Gordon Ramsay AI, there's not I'm not buying future cash flows, so it's even more abstract than that. That's the part I don't get. So like, what is in my mind when I buy that? What am I actually thinking will happen?
Well, you're hoping the AI agent was programmed knowing he also has a meme coin. And you're hoping the AI agent knows that and won't rug his people who follow him. So like you're hoping, and this is the same thing with artists actually. Like you really hope the artist of the Mona Lisa doesn't paint five versions of the Mona Lisa that look really similar because it would devalue Mona Lisa. So that's something that happens in NFT spaces as well. Artists don't, if they're good, they should protect their asset values somewhat. And in meme coins, I guess AI agents might want to protect their AI agent meme coin values. I don't know. This is a dark field of things that I know less about. So I just wanted to open that can of worms and then sign off. But
Will this podcast see the light of day?
well, it will on my socials because, you know, at 1,200 followers on my
Yeah,
crypto Twitter, some people might make fun of me for how poorly explained it to you.
I would be interested in getting roasted about how little I understand about this and gaining some feedback that way.
Well, there's gonna be tons of people who are gonna roast me, I think, but that's okay. Um, I'm already embarrassed, but it's okay. It's fine. It is what it is. Well, maybe
It
not
feels
that
like there
people.
should be a part two.
Yeah, maybe a
It
part two.
feels like we could have a part two. Um,
Okay, wait.
yeah,
Part two should happen after I've onboarded you to crypto slightly,
why
and
don't
you
you just
own some
pretend that I
crypto.
am?
No, I need you to
Or
actually like put $10 on these things. Oh man, I need you to like actually like see it
I don't think
for.
they'll change anything though.
I know it
Like
won't,
you're
but it
assuming
might
I
be
don't
funny.
have any, but like
It just might be funny. That's it. I don't expect you to. I just think it'll be enjoyable. I'm hoping it'll be enjoyable. That's it.
I mean I definitely want to get involved in it because it is I feel like it is like something like as a guy who's supposed to like know a lot about a broad variety of knowledge, like crypto is like a significant dark spot. But yeah, I don't know. I just and I haven't had the pull of it.
I really enjoyed your outsider take. It was really enjoyable to me. I think I like undrank Kool-Aids. I puked up Kool-Aid, which is awesome. It feels great.
Yo, that's a funny metaphor. See, I puked the Kool Aid back up. See, that's funny. That
Thank
was
you.
a gem. Like,
Yeah. So I mean,
imagine
I
I just been
enjoyed this.
talking. You're just like, oh, yeah.
I enjoyed this a
Um,
lot. I mean, the first 10 minutes I really didn't enjoy it because I think I had to like regurgitate some Kool-Aid, and I'm just like, okay, what am I supposed to say? What are all these stupid one-liners
Uh,
supposed to represent in terms of
I'm not
blockchain
even
community?
against you. I just literally don't understand what's going on. I'm like Joe Biden. I just woke back up from behind the podium and someone's yelling at me,
So I
and
hope
I
people don't start with. They're all just going to stop paying attention because it's the worst 10 minutes. But I'd love us to just cut
yeah,
that
no, but
part
like,
out, right? Whatever.
but like, I guess it doesn't matter because who's watching this anyway?
Nobody
Like,
cares.
exactly. Has anyone seen Joe Rogan episode 2? No. Who gives a fuck?
Totally, totally. And you know what? There's tons of Joe episodes that suck. I mean, or just that are boring for a while. That's just the way it is. Whatever.
Exactly. Um, Video and sound are good. I would consider that a success.
Oh, I hope so. I hope video and sound just hopefully. We'll find out here shortly. Are we calling it? Do you the last
I
comment
think
was going to be do you know what we're talking about next podcast? Because this time was kind of like we planned what we were going to talk about, which is weird.
we planned a singular topic. Um, no. I mean, I have some ideas. I think some current events, maybe I've had some like interesting life situations as well. I can talk about. I celebrated Chinese New Year here in Germany.
Ooh.
I yeah have some interesting stories as well. So yeah,
I want to talk
we
about
probably have enough to fill like a half hour.
I want to talk about dogs. I've learned a lot about dogs in the last week.
Oh my god, Jesus.
Like some
Yeah,
really
we can do that,
nuanced takes. I really want to talk about like the command
bro.
on bed. That's just like how you tell your dog to get on a
We've
bed.
been
Yeah, it's just interesting.
we've been. I mean, that's probably gonna be more appealing than whatever the fuck we did
Oh,
today.
this,
But
oh, I don't know.
I think you're 10 years late to the dog man. People have been attracting girls with puppies for the last 10, 15 years, and now you're just discovering dogs, and you want to talk about it with me? Number one, I'm a cat guy, all right? And then number two,
No,
I don't even have
this
pets
is
right now.
perfect fodder. This is exactly what we should be talking about. Sounds funnier. This is a great episode. All right, dogs and cats. Next episode. Thank you, Chris, for listening
Dogs
to
and
my
cats.
soapbox cryptocurrency and opening, puking up the Kool-Aid. Appreciate that. Appreciate
All good. Nothing has changed inside here for me, but I'm open. I remain open-minded.
that. We'll like. All right. Hopefully, my followers watch
All
this.
right,
Thank you. All right. See you later.
that's the pod.